Hello, how are you doing? Hope you've been doing fine. I'm fine as well. Thank you for asking. Today, I'm gonna tell you how long it really takes to learn English. Well, the short answer is 2 years. For the long answer, you need to stay with me until the end of the program. It depends on a lot of other factors. The first one of which is what your native language is. If you speak an Indo-European language, which is from the same family as English, you're more likely to learn English and become fluent in it in a shorter time. Let's say we have two people, the person A and the person B. The person A speaks Spanish as his mother language, and the person B speaks Chinese. The Spanish speaker can learn English much more quickly than the Chinese speaker can. Why? The structure of Spanish, which is another Indo-European language, the same family as English, the structure of this language is very similar to English. Okay, there might be some of you who will argue with me that Spanish and English are totally different. Of course, they are different. But compared to the difference there is between English and Chinese, Spanish is much closer to English than Chinese is. Learning a language is not about learning words, vocabulary, expressions, idioms and phrases, and grammar rules. It's not about that. It's about thinking in the language you're learning. And that's going to take some time. That's going to take a while. If it was learning grammar, if learning grammar and learning vocabulary could help you speak another language, then I think everyone could learn a new language and speak it fluently in just a course of a few months. So, changing the way your brain thinks is difficult and it takes time. That is exactly why I always say those who start learning English earlier in their life are more likely to learn it better than those who do it in their third or their fourth decade of life. I don't say they cannot. I don't say it's impossible to learn a language at 40 or at 50. It is possible, but it's much harder and it requires much more effort than it would if you tried to do it at a younger age. That leads us to talk about how we can change our way of thinking. Here's the solution. You need to immerse your mind in the language you want to learn. By immersing your mind, I mean, before you go to bed, you're going to listen to a podcast for 2 hours. In the morning after you wake up, you're going to listen to a podcast on your way to work. After work, you're going to watch a movie in English. Then you should take an English class with a competent teacher. Then you can text your friends in English. After that, while you're having dinner, you can talk to your family members in English. I mean that is a good example of immersing your mind in the language you're learning. This is what you need to do for at least a while so that you can see your mind change its way of thinking. What is a good material for learning? Anything could be turned into a good material depending on how you use it. A book could be the best material. A storybook, just a simple novel, could be the best material there is in the world for you, provided you know how to use it. A movie, a TV show in English, could be the best material for you. The best material is different for different people. Some people are auditory learners. They learn better listening to English material, whereas there are people who are visual learners. They learn better when they read a text in English. So it depends on you. I can't tell you what the best material is for you. You need to figure that out by yourself. Now, moving on to the next important topic I would like to discuss with you in this video. When we say someone is fluent in English, what do we mean by that? Do we mean he can survive in an English-speaking country? Do we mean he can watch a TV show in English and understand it completely? Or do we mean that he can give a presentation in English? There are many English learners that claim to be fluent in English. And I don't argue with them. They are fluent. But they are so when they talk about everyday topics. As soon as you start to talk to them about economy or politics, they're going to slip. They won't be able to catch up with you. Once you change the topic from a basic one to just a bit more complicated one. So I said all of this to make you plan your way ahead. Would you like to be able to talk about everyday topics and get fluent in that? Or is your goal to be fluent in talking about politics, economy, science, and other topics, other more complicated topics? If you keep listening to the English material provided for you about the basic conversation, then you're never going to learn how to talk about more complicated topics such as politics. So pick the material wisely. I want to be fluent in talking politics. Before I go to bed, I listen to a 30-minute podcast in politics so that my brain can learn the vocabulary of that topic in particular. It depends. It varies from one person to another. What is your goal? Sometimes I listen to political news, political podcasts so much that I forget all the vocabulary we use in basic English. I can talk about difficult topics, but when it comes to the basic topics, everyday topics, I seem to have lost my fluency. I feel to have lost my fluency. That is a language learning. Basically, you are not learning the language. You are learning a topic within that language. This is the most effective way of learning a language. The plan is not to learn the language, is to learn how to speak about a specific topic within that language. Let's sum up all the speech I just gave you and answer the main question of the video. How long does it take to learn a language? To learn the basics of a language and be able to speak about the basic topics fluently, it's going to take you, I'd say, at least 2 years. But after 2 years, you can't talk about complicated topics. You can't understand everything in a TV show or a movie that's intended for native speakers. No, you can't do that. If you want to achieve that level where you could do all the things a native speaker is able to do, it's going to take you at least 5 years, 6 years, provided you practice every day for 2 hours. I'm going to talk about my own experience. I've been learning English for 10 years now, but still I feel I need to learn more. Why? I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem speaking about any topic, but sometimes I still feel I don't have enough knowledge to talk about specific topics. When a native friend of mine starts to talk to me about medicine, I don't have any words, any vocabulary for that. I can't talk at all. That is how long it's going to take you to learn a language and be fluent in that. if there is any fluency for you to get. I hope this speech of mine today helped you improve your knowledge on how you should learn English and how long it's gonna take you. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you don't mind it. Thank you for listening to me. Until next time, take care.